So tell us about what were you doing previously work-wise, and what was the point where you were like, I really just need to change?
So 3 years and a half ago, I just got divorced. I started working a lot. I was working in a company from 7 in the morning to 5. But at the end of the day, I was also working in my own company. I do macrame, so I'm also an artist. And I started this as a hobby, but at the end, I was like, okay, getting many requests for products. And I was also working on this, but also I'm a wedding planner, or I used to be a wedding planner for 8 years. So I was working during the weekends, and I was like full of work all the time, that very inside, and I didn't see it at that point, at that moment. I was like just avoiding all of that pain I had at that moment. And then after 1 year, I got very sick. I got two tumors in my throat, and I had to had a surgery. And after that surgery, I got like, it was like I have been I have been like a happy person all the time, like every Latina. But at that point, I was like very sad, without energy. And at that moment, I decided to change something, to make actions to change my reality. And that's what I did. I didn't know what I was going to do, to be honest, Ryan. The only thing I had clear in my mind was like, okay, you have to leave Colombia right now. And at that moment, someone told me about volunteering trips,
Okay.
and that's the way I started. So I was volunteering, also pushing myself to be out of my comfort zone, because I still have a good life, but I had like a life in Colombia, very comfortable with my own apartment, car, everything. But I was going to Europe to live in a different way, And I was also looking for that. I was looking for new experiences, new people, new languages. I started in Germany, and then Denmark, Switzerland, France. So I was like, oh my God, if they don't even speak English or say hi, hello, I don't know how I'm gonna communicate. So yeah, well, and I did it, and I was spending my money, of course, but at some point, huge community of Latin Americans, women just start growing so fast. And they were asking me, how can they just start doing the same thing? How can they start traveling? And at that point, I realized that, okay, this can be my job. I can be a digital nomad. Like, I can keep traveling, and I can, I don't know, give sessions one to one, create my digital product about this, volunteering and traveling around the world. So my audience right now, they are Latin Americans looking for not only volunteering, but also this kind of women who are like trying to find their self in a different place, because that's something I always say. Like, sometimes we just need to be out of our comfort zone, out of our place, out of our home, to see the situation from outside and realize if that's the life you want to live, that's the reality. You still want to real life with this person. You really want to stay in that job. Are you happy with this? Because this is going very fast, and sometimes we are just living the way that other person wants to live, you know? Because that what happened to me. So at the end, reality now, and we are in this podcast, I'm telling you this story because I changed my reality very, it's not easy. It wasn't easy, of course, but I changed my reality, and I'm having this life. I'm working from any place, any paradise. I have been in many countries, many islands also, because I took because I took decisions in life. And that's what we have to do. We need to jump. I always say in Spanish that we need to jump. My biggest fear is the ocean. So to me, it's like I need to jump to the ocean. And
Okay.
I feel that I cannot do it. I need to
Okay.
jump, but like be clear, or have, or keep in my mind that I'm going to be okay, you know?
Face your fears, get out of your bubble there in Medellin and see what the world has to offer. So, as you were thinking about making your first trip and just getting out of Medellin and basically living off savings without a digital nomad income right away, like how were you feeling? Like, were you scared? Were you feeling like overwhelmed? Like, did you just have faith that it was going to work?
That's a good question. No, I didn't know how this. I don't know how this started. I looked at my Instagram and I'm like, okay, what just happened in the past 6 7 months? Because actually my community started June July last year. So I started just sharing my experiences. I started just being authentic, always laughing, also being vulnerable in social media because that's the way we connect as a content creators, just sharing my experiences. And then so I was having fun. I was traveling. I was just showing nice experiences. But and then I had to, or at some point, I had to make a stop and organize even my days, my hours, because my community or my clients are in Colombia. So if I'm in Europe
Okay.
or even in Asia, the schedule is completely different. Right now, I'm like in the future, 13 hours in the future. So it's like, okay, at least you need to organize your agenda or yeah, and make some appointments. So let's say if I'm gonna give sessions 1-to-1, I know that the first part of the day is Colombian is like 9 time in Colombia. So for me it's morning. So I need to put this the first moment. So it's hard because I need to work in the morning. No, it's not hard. It's a different way of living.
Yes.
So
Are you tired of trading your time for a paycheck and a job that drains your soul? What if I told you in as little as 30 days you could be working fully remote, whether that be a beach in Thailand or a mountainside cafe in Peru? Hi, I'm Ryan. I've been a digital nomad for over 8 years, working for 23 US states and 24 countries. Through my one-on-one coaching, I've helped countless people create a life of freedom through remote work. I've spent the past 9 months creating the ultimate step-by-step masterclass to help you go from being stuck in your 9 to 5 to fully remote. This isn't just a dream. This has worked for so many others, and it can work for you too. Please click the button below, get instant access to the masterclass, and start living the life of your dreams today.
I know that I have meetings in the morning, or sometimes I need to text, I need to answer my comments or whatever night, but I have the whole day to do whatever I
Yeah.
want, to have my life here in Bali, or just to decide to buy a ticket, what I just did yesterday, to buy a ticket to go to Vietnam, continue traveling because I'm here and I
Yeah.
have this freedom to do it.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I'm 12 hours away time zone wise from the States, so I know how it is. As soon as I wake up, there's work to be done, and right before I go to bed, there's work to be done. But because everyone's sleeping during the day here and in Bali, you have pretty much the day to yourself. You can still there's still plenty of things to work on, content creation, administration stuff, but as far as like dealing with clients or working with clients, people one on one, you need to kind of like put that at the beginning and end of your day. So anytime you change locations, that's something you need to think about. Like, how is this gonna change the way I work as well?
This is how it
So
is.
so it sounds like you're helping other people make the jump as well. So are you doing like one-on-ones with people? What are you doing right now to bring in income?
I'm doing what they are asking for. That's okay. I have to tell you something. When I was in Colombia, I used to work as a marketing manager in
Okay.
companies. But right now, that's what I'm doing for my personal brand. So to me, and how it works is like, hey, Julie, you just need to listen to your audience and want what they want. So last year, they just need a lot of information about volunteering, and that's what I was giving them. Right now, they want me to teach them how to become content creators, like through their
Okay.
traveling, something like that. But they also want to travel now. They also want to come to Asia. So I start doing or making organizing group trips, for example. So how I get money this way, many different ways. So I have my sessions 1-to-1.
To help teach them and have them interact to learn all these different
Exactly.
things, because there's so
Exactly.
much to think about when you're gonna jump out of the bubble and go somewhere, especially so far away like Asia. and do
And
something
especially many
different.
fears, actually, Ryan, especially like many fears because in Latin America, it's not as easy as you guys or even in Europe that, okay, we are very independent when we are 15, 17. For us, or especially in our cultures, like we have our family, we're always together. We live with our parents until the 25, 30s. So it's even harder.
I can
When,
imagine.
yeah.
So how did your parents take it when you said that you were gonna go on this adventure? Like, did your family have any? Were they like, "Don't do it," or were they supportive? How was it?
Yeah, well, my mom always supported me. Like, you're crazy, but just do it. She's always pushing me. Okay, just travel, just do this, just do what I couldn't do when I was your age.
Oh,
So yeah, it's part of the life. And at the beginning, she was always asking me, okay, you okay? Are you eating well? You're good. You need money? And I feel like no, like. I was also open to be out of that comfort zone. And right now I work remotely. I make money in dollars, which is very different to the reality I had in Colombia. And now I have the opportunity to say, okay, mom, just come to Bali and visit me for 2 months. It's great.
that's awesome. So will she
Yeah.
come visit you? Thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode useful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. You can hear all the full episodes of Digital Nomad Nation wherever you listen to podcasts. Drop your key takeaway in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And remember, you're only one bold decision away from a life full of freedom.